Welcome back. You were trying to draw a parallel between those other colleges of education and teaching that we have, and then against that of ASU. But what about those who will say, but wait a minute, ASU University is basic education in terms of tertiary, but these other ones, they seem to appear secondary to those of universities.
Well, I mean, Nigeria has a definition of what's called basic education. It's the first 9 years of education, the primary school till the GSS. That is what is referred as basic education. About at
the tertiary level.
Now, at the tertiary level, there comes options. So I can go to a university, I can go to a polytechnic, I can go to what is called a monotechnic. Interestingly, we seem to be having more monotechnics than even polytechnics. And let's also talk about the fact, if this country wants to develop, you may be shocked that you may have more strength going to deal with your monotechnics and the innovation centers. And let me tell you what now shocks you, and because we are talking about JAMB cutoff mark now, before now, is the fact that the cutoff mark to get to an innovation center is higher than the cutoff mark to go to a polytechnic. So perhaps that's where we should start to put our strengths. If you go to countries like Germany, their emphasis on technical education is very strong. There's a place for the university, but the point is that Nigeria has 10.5 children out of school. That's a worse problem than our university system. Our university
system, out of primary school?
Out of primary school and junior secondary school. That's a dangerous thing we're dealing with. And that's where I think we should put greater efforts on to resolve. Maybe also the question is to also ask that question, does Nigeria need as many public universities as it currently has? Government always correlates our population to the number of universities we need. The question is that, can we sustain it? And let's ask ourselves this very simple question. So if you go to Oyo State, if you go to Osun State, if you go to Ondo State, so if you go from Oyo State, you go from Ibadan, you see University of Ibadan. Drive a few kilometers down the road, you see University of Ife, oh, sorry, Obafemi University. Drive a few kilometers down the road to the right, you see Adeyemi College of Education. Go further down, you see Federal University of Nigeria, Akure. Go further down, you see Federal University of Oyo Ekiti. All those
and then we'll have more that are being set up in different regions.
So the Nigerian Police Force wants to start another university. Federal Road Safety Commission wants to start its own university. Ministry of Information or whatever, sorry, the one led by Alhaji Shitu.
Science, that's telecommunications?
Yes, wants to start their university. So the question we need to ask ourselves, maybe we need more universities, but instead of creating them, we need to expand the current one. Because all these universities I've mentioned, each has a vice chancellor, each has as a minimum a deputy vice chancellor. And I remember, I want to ask you, when I was in university, each university had one deputy vice chancellor. Today, the Nigerian university on average has two. Some universities I heard have 3 deputy vice chancellors. So the question is, we are creating more administrative burden. And you know the funniest thing? Ondo State University has three state universities. The one in Akoko, Okoko. Then they have West University in Ondo on medical sciences. Then they have an Ondo State University of Science and Technology. Out of those 3 universities, 2 of the universities, the total number of people that applied to them to write JAMB this year, they were less than 5,000. The number of people that applied to University of Ilorin is over 120,000. So what's the point having 3 universities? Now that is not up to 1 university.
Let me now bring this in, because in spite of this, you also do know that we have private universities that are coming up, the ones that are there, and they charge far much more than several of those other universities. In fact, some of them put together, and people are subscribing immensely to those schools. What does that tell us?
Let's ask ourselves this basic question. Before now, in the last 4 or 5 years, the most applied to university in Nigeria was the University of Lagos. In the last 2 years, University of Lagos has become the 5th most applied to university. And who is now number 1? University of Ilorin. What's peculiar about University of Ilorin? University of Ilorin has ASU, but the ASU is not affiliated with the national ASU.
Even though you say they're trying to get back to the national ASU.
No, they wouldn't get back because they realize that has become their competitive advantage. So more people are applying to University of Ilorin. Why? Because there is guaranteed, if you go for a 4-year course, you graduate after 4 years. So Nigerians are placing a lot of premium on duration. So if you tell me a school is affordable, but I don't know when I'm going to graduate, there's what they call time value of money. And you know that Yoruba popular song we have, Nigeria, time now money. Oh. So if I'm to do a 5-year course and I have to become 7 years, but it's affordable, in real terms, you have burned 7 years of your life. What somebody should do in 5 years, perhaps that more expensive one is even cheaper on the long run. The other thing to ask about those private universities is the fact that some of them have innovations that the